Very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome back in a series of lectures, Building Construction and Drawing. In last lecture, we have started discussion on what is by building and its types. Okay. In previous lecture, we have discussed about the definition of building and its types. Okay. In that residential building and public building. Under the residential building, also we have discussed about the detached building, semi-detached building, then after that row houses and apartments. Okay, then now we are going to move towards next point of unit number 1. Okay, that is building functional requirements. Here, under the building functional requirements, we have to study about strength and stability, then comfort and convenience, safety, damp prevention, waterproofing, heat insulation, daylighting, ventilation, and termite resistance. Okay, means whenever we are going to construct any kind of building for any purpose, okay, maybe any kind of function we are going to perform in that particular building, but in each and every building we should get comfort, convenience, and also whatever basic needs are there, those basic needs should be fulfilled in that particular building. And we have to concentrate on these things, as well as we have to basically focus on the health conditions and environment in that particular building of the occupants or inmates or those who are using such buildings. Okay, so some requirements are there. We are going to discuss one by one. Firstly, we are going to discuss about the strength and stability. Okay, here building should be capable of transferring the expected loads in its life period safely to the ground. Okay, means whatever building we are going to construct, that building we are constructing by using the various materials, and we have to choose particular type of materials to construct particular elements. Okay, so generally nowadays we are using concrete. Okay, concrete is nothing but it is a proper mixture of sand, cement, and coarse aggregate and water in a proportion. That mixture is nothing but the concrete. Okay, but whatever ingredients are there in that concrete, maybe you can consider as a water, that water should be potable. Then after that whatever the cement is there, fine aggregate, that is nothing but the sand, and coarse aggregate is there, that is nothing आपण मराठीत त्याला काय म्हणतोय तर खडी म्हणतोय बघा. Okay, means whatever kind of material we are going to use for the construction of the building, it should have some good characteristics. Okay, firstly we should know the good characteristics of each and every type of material. Those material we are going to use for the construction of the building. Okay, means that element, whatever element which is constructed by using the various materials, so that material that element will be capable to take the load, and it will be transfer coming load over on it to the support and all those things. Okay, so here I have mentioned building should be capable of transferring the expected load in its life period safely to the ground. Means there may be variation in load. Generally we are considering 4 types of loads, but as per the requirements we are considering the types of loads while doing the calculations and designing and analysis. Okay, generally we are considering the live load and a dead load. Okay, means whatever dead load is nothing but whatever sulfate is there of each and every element or whatever material we are going to use whatever its weight is there, that is nothing but the dead load. Okay, जसं काही आपण जर काही समजा आपण एखादा इलिमेंट कन्स्ट्रक्ट करायला चाललोय की बाबा एखादा कॉलम वगैरे आहे किंवा बीम आहे किंवा स्लॅब आहे, तर त्याच्यासाठी जे काय आपण मटेरियल वापरणार आहे त्याचं जे काही सेल्फ वेट असणार आहे, दॅट इज नथिंग बट दी डेड लोड. ओके, म्हणजे जे काही इलिमेंट असणार आहेत, जेवढे काही नंबर ऑफ इलिमेंट असणार आहेत, जे काही स्थावर असणार आहेत, म्हणजे तिथून हलणार नाही, तिथून म्हणजे फिक्स असणार आहेत इलिमेंट, त्याचा जो काही लोड असणार आहे किंवा त्याचं जे काही वेट असणार आहे त्याला आपण काय म्हणतोय तर डेड लोड म्हणतोय. ओके, लाईव्ह लोड, another type of load is there, that is nothing but the live load. Generally we are considering human being load as a live load, or whatever things are there we are transporting from one position to the another position time beingly. Okay, so such kind of load is nothing but the live load. So here generally we are considering both the types of load while doing analysis as well as designing the various elements or components of the building. Okay, so these components should be capable to carry the load or to transfer the load during its service life. Okay, means in case of any kind of function is arranged in any building, or we can say any hall. Okay, suppose that hall is designed for 50 peoples. Okay, means in that hall we will consider 50 number of people will accommodate, but due to some inconvenience and any other things, if there came 60 people, okay, means live load is increased. Okay, as per the design and all those things. In that case also some kind of margin should be there, means that element should be capable to carry or transfer the load whatever coming on it. Okay, then design of various structural components like slabs, beams, walls, columns and footing should ensure safety. Okay, means whatever components are there or elements are there in a building, each and every element and component should be strong enough. Okay, and it should be constructed in a good quality also. Okay, means whenever we are going to construct the any kind of element, then we have to use good quality of material as well as whatever SOP is there, standard operating procedure is there, that we have to follow while constructing or casting the various elements. Okay, then none of the structural components should buckle, overturn and collapse. Okay, means it comes under the stability, means whatever our structure is there, it should be stable, means due to the impact of the earthquake waves and all those things, it should not be collapse, or it should not be any kind of buckling and overturning should not be there. Okay, means here if we consider, I think you will be able to see here, if we consider this is the column, because of I am considering this pane in a vertical manner. Okay, we will consider this is as a column. Okay, and if we are trying to apply some amount of load on that column, okay, then that column should not buckle. Okay, means buckling means it will be like this here. Okay, due to the application of load, its shape will be like this, that is nothing but the buckling. Okay, when buckling will be there if member is in vertical manner, but member is in horizontal manner, means instead of column if we are going to consider a beam, okay, then it will bend due to the coming load. Okay, means or whatever applied load is there, due to that that beam will bend, or we can say deformation will be there. Okay, next point is there comfort and convenience. In that, along with the grouping also we have to concentrate on other things also in that aesthetic point of view. Okay, and whatever vision is there in that particular building, vision should be there. Okay, means proper day lighting we have to provide it, as well as at the time of night, whatever light is there, it should be clear. Okay, so generally to achieve the daylighting, we are going to provide the windows as well as ventilators. Generally, whatever ventilators are there, we are using for the ventilation, but indirectly through these ventilators also we will get the daylighting. And whatever daylighting is there, that daylighting we should get clearly from the right direction without glaring effect. Okay, so by considering that, we have to fix the position of the windows as well as number of the windows, how much number of windows or how much uh, clear opening we have to provide in that particular building or in that for that particular unit. Okay, so we have to consider the things. Then after that, also we have to concentrate on health conditions of the occupants while doing the planning, and we have to give due weightage also. Okay, so this was about comfort and convenience. Then after that, next point is safety. Okay, here already I have discussed about the characteristics of the material. Okay, means whatever kind of material we are going to use for the construction purpose, it should have a good characteristics as well as good qualities. Okay, generally we have to use composite material for the construction of the building, and that material should be non-combustible. Okay, uh, as per the requirements, we have to go for the fire protection system and all those things. Generally in a residential building we are not going to provide the fire protection system and all those things, but in a public building maybe you can see in a cinema theaters as well as in a college building. In our college building also fire protection system is provided. Okay, so whatever important and public buildings are there, in that case we have to uh, go for the provision of the fire protection system. Here the basic requirements laid down in the standards are as follows. By considering the safety, a building structure should not ignite easily. Okay, means whatever type of material we are going to use for the construction purpose, it should not ignite easily, it should not catch fire as early as possible. Okay, then a building should provide means for the occupants to leave the building safely and quickly in the event of fire. In case of event of fire, whatever occupants are there, those occupants should be provided uh, a way. Okay, or to we have to provide a way to escape the building or leave that particular place in the event of a fire. Means here if we are going to consider number of story building is there, in that case to reach at various floors we are providing the lifts, escalators, or maybe staircase. So whatever circulation elements are there, maybe lift, escalator, and stairs, these things should be easily accessible to each and every occupants. Generally, we are going to provide, or we are going to planning about staircase, lifts, and escalators at mid position of the building, and we are trying to provide easy access to each and every units of the room or building, sorry. Okay, so each and every occupant will take advantage of that. So at the time of event of fire, they will leave their place as early as possible, as well as safety doors also we have to provide, or emergency exit we have to provide in a particular building as per the requirement. Then next thing is there, next building functional requirement is there, that is nothing but the damp prevention. Okay, here dampness is nothing but the moisture content. Okay, so here dampness in a building is a greater nuisance, and it may reduce the life of the building. Great care should be taken in planning and in the construction of the building to avoid dampness. Here, while constructing the building, whatever supervision is there, it should be keen, and whatever SOP is there, we have to follow it while constructing each and every element. Otherwise, we have to face the problem of a damp prevention. Here, in case of damp prevention, whatever water is there or whatever moisture contents are there may be transfer from superstructure to the substructure and substructure to the superstructure, and vice versa. Okay, सुपरस्ट्रक्चर मधून सबस्ट्रक्चर कडे आणि सबस्ट्रक्चर मधून सुपरस्ट्रक्चर कडे जाऊ शकतात. Okay, here to avoid the entry of moisture content from substructure to the superstructure and vice versa, we have to place one DPC layer, damp proof course layer, in between superstructure and substructure. Okay, so we will be able to avoid the dampness. Then whatever walls we are going to construct, while constructing it, we have to take proper due care, means whatever joints are there, those joints we have to fill with proper material. Okay, as well as whatever surfaces are there of the external walls, those should be concealed one, and if we consider it, then we will be able to prevent the damp prevention. Okay, dampness. Okay, then after that, whatever elements are there, some leakage will be there in a rainy season. Okay, so at the time of construction of the elements, we have to take due care, or we have to go for the use of chemicals, as well as we can say some admixtures or super plasticizers. Okay, such as Dr. Fixit. Generally, nowadays we are using Dr. Fixit for avoiding the dampness and leakage. Okay, so in that way we can go for, otherwise dampness problem will be there and we have to face it. Okay, and also we can go for the application of the various types of paints on the external surfaces. Due to that also we can prevent the dampness. Okay, then next thing is there, that is nothing but the waterproofing. It is the process of making an object or structure waterproof or water resistant so that it remains relatively unaffected by water. Generally, whatever elements we are constructing in a building, each and every element should be waterproof. Okay, generally whatever sanitary blocks are there, in those blocks we have to concentrate about the waterproofing, because of large amount of water we are using in such units only. So we have to take due care in such units about the waterproofing. Here, to achieve the waterproofing, we have to use good quality of material, as well as while constructing the elements we have to take due care. And uh, and uh, in some cases, if there is water leakage is there, then we have to uh, make a proper treatment on such surfaces or on such elements, so it will become a waterproof one. Here, why we have to go for the waterproofing? Because of, if any element of the structure comes in contact of water, then it will affect on its durability. Okay, and also it reduces its strength of that element, so we have to go for the waterproofing. Then next building functional requirement is there, that is nothing but the heat insulation. A building should be so oriented and designed that it insulates interior from heat. Here, whatever heat insulation is there, in this case, we have to maintain the inside temperature of a room or of a building. And to achieve that thing, we have to go for the proper orientation as well as a proper planning. Means, particular unit we have to provide in a particular direction. Generally, whatever residential building is there, in a residential building we are trying to provide the various units, maybe in that kitchen, dining room, then after that living room, that is nothing but the hall, bedroom, sanitary blocks, and staircase we are going to provide, as well as along with these units, different units we are going to provide, such as guest room, then after that drawing room, then study room, and so on. Okay, so as per the requirement, whatever number of units we are going to provide in a particular building, at that time we have to think about its position also. Means, uh, whatever number of units are there, we have to provide, or we have to fix its position in a particular direction. If we are considering kitchen, okay, generally we are placing, or we are planning kitchen towards north or east direction. Okay, or sorry, northeast direction or east direction. Okay, but as per the Vastu Shastra, we go for uh, no, south and east. Okay, whatever southeast corner is there, towards that we are going to provide the kitchen. Okay, uh, the reason behind that is whatever sun is there, sun is rising from the east direction. Okay, and at morning time it refreshing the environment, as well as whatever rays are there. If these rays comes in a kitchen, then whatever germs and all those things are there, those will be killed by the sun rays. And generally we are preparing the meal at morning time, due to that temperature of that kitchen will goes increase at the morning time. Okay, and that kitchen should be cool in a remaining daytime, so we have to place that kitchen towards the east direction or southeast, or we can say northeast direction, by considering the principles of planning and Vastu Shastra also. Okay, so that is the main reason behind that we are placing the kitchen towards the east aspect. Okay, then after that, whatever bedroom is there, we are spending a lot of time of our life in a bedroom, so in that bedroom we should get proper lighting, ventilation, as well as whatever room temperature is there, it should be maintained. Okay, so with consideration of that, we are trying to provide bedroom towards south or southwest aspect, because of, if we are going to consider the summer season, during summer season, whatever breeze are there, the breeze are blowing from the southwest direction, and we have to take these breeze directly into the bedroom, and it will refreshes the environment of that room. So we have to place that bedroom towards south or southwest aspect. And during the uh, uh, another season, that is nothing but the winter season. Okay, whatever cold air is there, that cold air is blowing from the northeast direction, and we have to avoid the entry of that cold air during winter season into the bedroom. We are going to provide that bedroom towards the south or southwest aspect. Okay, so that is the reason, and by considering these things, okay, we are trying to uh, place the different units to the different direction. Okay, I think all of you understood about that. Okay,
Okay.
so here we have to go for the proper planning of the building, so we will be able to maintain the heat in each and every particular unit or in a building. Along with this, also we can go for the provision of the false ceiling, or sometimes we use POP also. Okay, the main purpose of that POP is to increase the uh, beauty of interior of the room or building. That is the main thing. But if we are going to provide metal sheets as a roofing material, and uh, here, if we want to maintain the heat in that particular building, then in that case you can go for the POP also. Means both the advantages will be there due to the provision of vacuum in between metal sheets or whatever roofing material is there and POP. Okay, vacuum will be there, and wherever vacuum is there, through that vacuum heat will not transfer easily. Okay, so we will be able to maintain the heat in that particular building or room. Also, we can go for the provision of the cavity walls. Okay, means whenever we are constructing the external walls, if we go for the provision of the cavity wall, also we will be able to maintain the room temperature or heat into the building or various units. Also, another thing is available in the market, that is nothing but the hollow blocks. Hollow concrete blocks are there. By using those hollow concrete blocks also, you can go for the maintaining the temperature of the room or that particular building. Okay, so we have to provide these things, whatever things are required. As per that, you have to go for it. Then next point is there. Next building functional requirement is there. That is nothing but the daylighting. Here, good daylighting is not too much light, too much of light, but sufficient light, free from glare, and it should come from the right direction. Generally, whatever daylighting is there, it is essential to promote the activities carried within the building, particularly in industrial buildings. Then along with this, to promote the safety of people using the building, so to avoid the accidents and all those things, proper daylighting is required in a particular room as well as in a building or structure. And if we have sufficient amount of daylighting, then it will create the pleasing environment also. So what you will get the freshness and all those things. Okay. In case of industrial building, adequate daylight is provided to improve the efficiency of operation. Means whatever kind of work or whatever kind of function you are going to perform in a particular building or in a particular structure, then there should be proper daylighting. And if there is a proper daylighting, then whatever efficiency of work is there, it will be more. Okay. Here, if we consider an example, next point is there, that is nothing but the ventilation. For healthy and happy living, natural light and ventilation are required. Diffused light and good cross ventilation should be available inside the building. Here, whatever ventilation is nothing but the supply of fresh air into the building, or whatever outside air is there, that we have to supply to the building. That is nothing but the ventilation. Okay. We can go for the ventilation by two ways. In that, first one is natural and the second one is the artificial one. Okay. To achieve the natural ventilation, we have to go for the provision of the various openings such as windows as well as ventilators. So here, whatever opening is there, we have to provide the openings by considering the floor area of that particular room. Suppose we have a one room whose size is 3 meter by 4 meter, means its area will be 12 meter square. Okay. If we are going to consider size of the room is 3 meter by 4 meter, its width is 3 meter, length is 4 meter. Okay. Then 3 as 4 will be 12 meter square. Total area of that room is 12 meter square, and whatever floor area is there, of its 10% clear opening we have to provide for getting the proper ventilation in a dry and hot region. If we are going to construct the building in a dry and hot region, then at least we have to provide the 10% floor area, 10% opening as considered to the floor area of that particular room or unit. Means 1.2 meter square clear opening we have to provide it. Here, to achieve that 1.2 meter square opening, we have to we can provide the only one window, two window or three windows also. Okay. जो काय आपला 10% चा जो काही क्रायटेरिया आहे तो हॉट अँड ड्राय रिजन साठी आहे इन रेसिडेन्शियल बिल्डिंग साठी. ओके. आणि त्याच्यामध्ये जे काय आपण ओपनिंग सोडणार आहे ते ओपनिंग सोडत असताना तो जो काही रिक्वायर्ड एरिया आहे तो रिक्वायर्ड एरिया आपण अचीव करू शकतो एक विंडो प्रोव्हाइड करून, दोन किंवा तीन किंवा नंबर ऑफ विंडोज प्रोव्हाइड करून. ओके. बट हिअर Generally, we have to go for the vertical windows over horizontal because of vertical windows provide us more ventilation as well as daylighting. Okay, means from sunrise to the sunshine. Okay, uh, we will get the daylighting. So we have to go for the vertical windows, provision of the vertical windows over the horizontal. And while providing the openings or whatever windows we are going to provide, we have to provide in a cross manner. Here I will show one figure, so you will be able to understand what is in by cross ventilation and all those things. Okay, what happened here? Suppose this is the room, okay, and its width is 3 meter, length is 4 meter, and suppose you have provided here opening, door is provided here. Okay, then whatever windows are there, you have to provide in a cross manner. कुठली साइड ओपन आहे त्याच्यानुसार तुम्हाला काय करायचं आहे, विंडोची पोझिशन जी आहे ती फिक्स करायची. जर काय समजा फक्त आणि फक्त एकच रूम असेल आपल्याकडं, तर काय करायचंय आपल्याला, एक विंडो जी आहे ती इकडल्या साईडला प्रोव्हाइड करायची आणि दुसरी विंडो जी आहे ती इकडल्या साईडला प्रोव्हाइड करायची, की जेणेकरून आतमध्ये येणारी जी काही एअर वगैरे आहे ते आपल्या पूर्ण अशा रूम मध्ये फिरून जाईल. ओके, ह्यालाच काय म्हणायचं, क्रॉस व्हेंटिलेशन म्हणायचं. एकमेकाच्या समोर प्रोव्हाइड करायचं नाहीये. जर काही समजा तुम्ही एकमेकाच्या समोर जर काही प्रोव्हाइड केलं, तर जी काही येणारी फ्रेश एअर जी आहे ती इथल्या इथंच जाईल. इकडला एरिया जो आहे त्या एरियामध्ये accumulation of carbon dioxide and all those things will be there. So to avoid such things, we have to go for the cross ventilation. Okay, and previously I told one thing, that is whatever opening is there, okay, whatever opening is there, we have to provide opening in a proper way. Suppose this is the living room, okay, and here another rooms are there or another units are there to this side, then we have to provide the access to these units. So we have to provide the opening to this side, or here also you can provide the opening. Okay, but here to this side another units are there, and instead of provision of opening here, okay, if you provide opening this side, then what will happen here, in case of any event or whatever discussion is going on, and suppose a lady wants to cross this part, okay, then she will be uncomfortable, she will feel uncomfortable. Okay, so we have to avoid such type of openings, such type of provision of openings in the rooms or in a buildings. Okay, while you are deciding the circulation, you have to focus on the proper position of the doors or openings. Okay, that is the thing. So here, to getting the proper ventilation in a dry and hot region, we have to provide at least 10% of a floor area openings. Okay, and generally to achieve the natural ventilation, we go for the provision of the windows and ventilators. Whatever doors are there, we are going to provide for the circulation purpose. The main function or the main purpose of the door is circulation, or to provide access to a particular unit or room, not the getting ventilation and daylighting, but indirectly we are getting the ventilation as well as the daylighting through the doors. Okay, That thing is also important, and you have to note down it. As well as we can also provide the ventilation by artificial manner, means whatever equipments are there, those will run on the electricity, maybe ceiling fan, table fan, then after that cooler or air conditioner are there. Okay, those units also we can provide as per the requirement in a particular unit or rooms. Okay, then next point is there, that is nothing but the termite resistant. Here also we have to concentrate, we have to focus what kind of material we are going to use for the construction purpose. Means we have to protect the building from the termites. Whatever termites are there, generally we are calling as white ants, and these insects which are seen to breed in a crack and fissures in the walls and floors generally have their origin deep inside the foundation of the building. Okay, whatever termites are there, these termites breeds in cracks and fissures, and origin of there is inside the deep foundation of the building, and we have to register the termite. It is advisable to take due precautions in pre-construction techniques of termite proofing, such as use of better quality foundation material, as well as filling of floor joints. Generally, whatever plinth filling is there, we have to compact it in a well manner, so we will be able to protect the building from the termites, as well as if we are going to provide the wooden material for the construction purpose, and if we are going to insert that wooden material into the ground surface, then we have to go for the provision of the anti-termite paint and all those things. जनरली तुम्ही बघितलं असेल की आपण जर काही समजा एखादा शेड वगैरे मारत असेल, ओके, पत्र्याचा शेड वगैरे मारत असेल, त्यासाठी आपण व्हर्टिकल सपोर्ट जे काही आपण प्रोव्हाइड करतोय, त्यासाठी जर काही समजा आपण बांबू वगैरे किंवा आपण लाकूड वगैरे प्रोव्हाइड केलं आणि ते लाकूड जे आहे ते आपण ग्राउंड मध्ये इन्सर्ट केलं, तर त्याच्यामुळे काय होतंय बघा, ते जर काही समजा पाण्याच्या कॉन्टॅक्ट मध्ये आलं किंवा वाळवी, टर्माइट म्हणजे काय वाळवी, ओके, त्याच्या संपर्कात आलं तर ते काय करतंय, तर ते लाकडाला खाऊन टाकण्याचा प्रयत्न करतंय किंवा त्याचं जे काही स्ट्रेंथ जे आहे ती कमी करण्याचं काम करते, म्हणजे त्याची लाईफ स्पॅन जो आहे, म्हणजे ड्युरेबिलिटी जी आहे ती कमी करण्याचं काम करते. ओके, तर मग ते करू नये त्यासाठी आपल्याला काय करायचंय, तर वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचं पेंट्स अवेलेबल आहेत, तर ते पेंट्स आपल्याला काय करायचं, त्याच्यावरती लेड करायचे आणि मग नंतर आपल्याला कन्स्ट्रक्शनला जायचंय. किंवा जिथं जिथं कुठं कुठं आपल्याकडे क्रॅक्स किंवा फिशर्स अवेलेबल असतील, ते क्रॅक्स वगैरे आपल्याला काय करायचे, व्यवस्थित फिल करून घ्यायचे पर्टिक्युलर टाईपच्या मटेरियल, जे की जेणेकरून त्याच्यामध्ये टर्माइट वगैरे जे आहे त्याची स्प्रेड होणार नाही किंवा ते तिथं जन्माला येणार नाही. ओके, सो this is also one of the important building functional requirement. So this was about the building functional requirements.